What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3 FES. Last time, we explored Tartarus further and managed to reach the barrier, preventing us to go any further. In this episode, our exploration at Tartarus has come to a close yet again, so we're just going to go ahead and head back to the dorm. Not really much of a point since we don't have Junpei or Yukari with us, so...
Hi, how have you been?
How did I get to sleep so quickly? Also, must you interrupt me in my dreams? You again?
It's been a while. Are you well? 1 week from now, there will be a full moon. Be careful. A new ordeal awaits you.
What kind of ordeal?
You will encounter one of them. You must prepare for the ordeal, but time is of the essence. I'm sure you're aware of that, of course. I'll come see you again when it's over. Goodbye for now.
Can you please not teleport? That kid is really creepy. And it seems like he just gets creepier every time we see him. Well, whatever. I'm still amazed that after all that, Minato managed to get back to the dorm and be in bed by the time that kid showed up. But whatever. It is Constitution Day and the beginning of Golden Week. Yeah. So, it is now the beginning of Golden Week, which means we have a few days off from school. However, we were told of a shopping program that's usually on. And thankfully, we have a TV in our room, so let's go ahead and check it out. And so, every week on Sundays, the Home Shopping Network will be on Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. So basically, there'll be an item offered on TV, and if we're interested in it, we can purchase it. So, this is Tanaka. Alright, so what's the item of the day? A slash ward. I think that reduces damage done by slash attacks, if I'm remembering correctly. Or I'm just basing it off the name of the items. And one sappy jelly for 29,880 yen. It's not really that expensive, but it's also not something I really want to get. So I'll pass on it this time. Alright, so that's basically how the shopping channel works. It doesn't take up time if you decide to purchase something or not. However, it will take a few days for the package to arrive for you to use, so it's not an immediate purchase. However, today, I want to check something really quick. There is something that I'm going to need soon. Is this? Yes, okay. Very soon, we're going to need a certain drink, specifically Mad Bull. Now, we can only get this in the vending machine here at the dorm. However, we're going to need that for later. Thankfully, we can just head back into our room. And today, we are spending time with Hermit. And thankfully, Maya wants to play. So let's go ahead and play Innocent Sin Online with Maya. Wonder where she is. good to see you too, Maya. Of course. How could I forget you, Maya? You were my first friend here. Sunshine's overrated. Demonstrate. People play online games for different reasons. And yeah, I definitely know how tough grinding can be. In fact, that I still need to do some other games. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou still needs to fight ye's mat. Ronku up. Damn it. Well, whatever. We've reached level 2 with Hermit. So at the very least, we've got that going for us. Aw, alright. Later, Maya. Alright, well, there really wasn't much else that we could do. I mean, in theory, we could have gone outside and gotten some rank advancement. Ooh, sweet. We're not tired anymore. But, Maya's social link is somewhat difficult to raise up, since it's only available on days off. So, yeah, it's best to increase it whenever you can. However, that is not what we're doing today. Even though we can, in theory, just spend more time with Maya, we're gonna be doing something else today. So, if we head on over this way, we're going to actually be leaving the dorm today. And instead, we are going to spend time talking to Mitsuru. Hey, what's up? So yeah, in case your party members aren't in your party when you're going and fighting in Tartarus, you can ask Mitsuru in the middle of the battle to, hey, call everyone together, and she'll call everyone and they'll be around in a turn or two. And actually, since we just went over Maya's social link, there is something else that I want to go over. I mentioned last time that there are various references to other Persona games. However, if we turn on the TV, today's installment of Who's Who. This is something I actually didn't know about until really recently. Today's subject is a 20-year-old girl with bright blonde hair. They say her sister used to be a famous idol. So that Who's Who program is actually a reference not only to the different Persona 2 games, but actually the original Persona 1. There's various characters that they will talk about and say like, oh, this is what this certain person's doing now. They won't go into specific names, and I don't really know the characters from those games very well, so I can't exactly say, oh, it's this character. But I do know that that is what that Who's Who is referencing. It's not just completely arbitrary, just random people in the world. It is actually referencing that game. Those games, actually, because it's 3 of them. However, we do have some stuff that we need to sell, so I'm gonna head on over to Paulownia Mall really quick, and I'll meet you guys back on the town map, because there's something else that we need to do. Ooh. Okay, well, I guess I will show this off. Apparently, the shopkeeper has some more items. Now we can buy Dispoisons, Disrages, and Discharms. Not really anything I'm too keen on buying, but you know what? It is interesting. However, there are some other things that I need to sell, including a lot of weapons. So this is gonna take a while. Also, if you do manage to get bonus, or not really bonus, but extra items for Elizabeth's requests, they're not really useful for anything else, and they're not really worth much. So, if you're hoping that you can farm like the grave beetles while you're still doing Elizabeth's request, they're not really worth much. So I'm just gonna sell it for the 1 yen. Yeah, so that is something to keep in mind in case you were wondering, oh, well, what about these items that you can only get on these requests? Not really worth it. However, today we are going to head on over to Iwatodai Station. There is, well, we're spending today with Hierophant, but there is something else that we need to do. So, first things first, we need to head on over to the other side of the station, to the mall area. And we need to head over here to Octopi. If there's no octopuses in it, is it still technically takoyaki? I guess. So we get the weird takoyaki. Now this is useful, similar to the Mad Bowl. We will need both of these items for something pretty soon. However, today, like I mentioned earlier, we're heading on over to the bookworms. So let's go ahead and enter. Minato Arisato. I'm not quite sure if I believe him, to be honest. Melon bread. Oh, well, thanks. E? Sure, I guess. Thank you, Mitsuko. If you don't mind me asking, who's he? It didn't matter which one you picked, by the way, for that or the previous one. Mitsuko-san? What are you guys talking about? Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. No, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Wow. That kind of got heavy really quick. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Hierophant Arcana. Rank 2, and we're already getting to some heavy stuff. Oh, jeez. Well, at the very least, we know them a bit better. Alright. I'll be back soon. Well, that was kind of a downer. Here I was having fun with Maya. Oh, no one's here? That's okay. I'm assuming that everyone is upstairs. Yeah. Well, these three are right here. Hey, guys, what are you doing over here? And yeah, press R1 to check whose turn is going up next. Kind of been using it, Junpei. You're late to the party. So yeah, that's why it's always important to know who goes when. But do you guys know where Mitsuru is? So yeah, whenever you're just have a weapon equipped, that is the weapon that you will use to initiate combat. So if we had a bow, then we would be able to shoot shadows from a distance. If we had a two-handed sword, I think our range is greater, but it also requires a bit of a wind-up. So yeah, make sure that you know how to use your weapon to initiate a battle. Oh, okay, so she's back in the meeting room. Theoretically, we can go to Tartarus this evening. However, there's not really much of a point of going to Tartarus. We've already reached the barrier. So the only reason to go back there would be to find a Juzumaru, which... honestly, there'll be other times to go and find that sword at a later point. I mean, probably... maybe when I reach a floor that I need to, and I'm going to be doing some training anyway. So, in theory, if you need another day to go to Tartarus, this would be a day to do it. However, since there's not really much of a need to do that, I will instead be spending the evening at karaoke. Because we still need that courage to go up. And nope, still rank 3. Alright. Well, whatever. Not that big of a deal. We're actually making some pretty good time. Oh! I have not mentioned this yet. Sometimes during the evening, your different social links will call you and ask that you hang out with them, usually on Sunday. Although if you have a day off from school, sometimes they'll say, hey, you want to hang out this sometime? So, in theory, we can hang out with Kaz, and this would allow us to build our social link. You cannot rank up in a social link in this matter, but you can gain points for a rank up the following time that you actually hang out with them. However, we are going to decline the offer. Sorry, Kaz, but we have other plans. Yeah, sorry about that. By the way, you won't get these phone calls if you go to Tartarus. So if there's a specific person that you need to have call you... Oh. Hey, Kenji. Then don't go to Tartarus. Sorry, Kenji, I'm kind of busy. Yeah, Kenji would have just said the same thing. He's like, hey, you want to hang out tomorrow? But we don't. We have other plans. However, today, for this evening, we're going to study. We're feeling pretty alright, so we should be able to gain some academics. After all, even though it's Golden Week, we've still got to keep our studies up. Alright, and we're still feeling good. Alright, so that's the end of that day. And it moves on to the 5th. Oh, it's the last day of Golden Week. It's Children's Day. Man, I don't want Golden Week to end. Oh, well, whatever. It's a nice little holiday break. However, today, we are going to be leaving the dorm yet again. We are not hanging out with Maya, unfortunately. As much as I would just love to just spend all of Golden Week hanging out with Maya, we do have other plans and other social links that we need to develop. So today, we're gonna head on out and hang out with the only other social link we could possibly hang out with today, being Hierophant. So let's head on over to the Iwatodai station. And this is actually interesting because every other time we've been to the Iwatodai station, we've arrived at the actual station itself, but depending on where we come from will depend on where we enter an area from. So since we came from the dorms, we arrive at the strip mall, which is actually a nice detail. However, we're heading on over to Bookworms. You know, to spend your lunch as opposed to just you want to spend your entire day. But yes, that is what we're going to be doing today. Hey guys. Looking for something? Why, yes. Yes, I am. Or I just have an Espeon right beside me. Well, I'll help you look. I guess, yeah, this will take up the entire day trying to find something. Hmm? Yeah. Have we met? Oh, you go to GeckoCon. Well, it's nice to meet you. Okay, well that makes things simpler. Well, it's nice to meet you, baby. That seems really redundant to say sayonara and goodbye, because they mean literally the exact same thing. But, we can hang out with Bebe now if we really wanted to. And that's an example of a social link that leads to another social link. So we'll be seeing more of Bebe soon enough. What do you mean by that? Mitsuko, what's so bad about the car? Kind of, you had me worried. Yeah? Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds awful. I'm not gonna punch you, Bunkichi. I think you've learned your mistake. Well, after that slight happier interlude, you learn more about their son's death. Just feel so bad for these two. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Hierophant Arcana. despite the solemn story, we learn just a bit more about these two. And Hierophant has reached rank 3. Ooh, a medicine. Thanks, Bunkichi. That's gonna be really helpful. Alright, well, it's getting dark, so let's head back to the dorm then.
Sup, dude?
Hey, Junpei. Okay, so, after that... that social link. To be honest, it's probably one of the more obvious ones to guess the correct responses to. Sometimes social links, it is weird what sort of options are actually the correct ones sometimes, but that's probably one of the easier ones to get right. Man, that social link is a lot heavier than I remember it being. Well, whatever. It's the evening of the 5th, it is a Tuesday, and that means time to go to Horror House. As if things weren't already depressing enough. Let's be scared. Why not? Alright, and nope, still rank 3. Alright, well, it's late in the evening. And today, or tonight, we're gonna study. We're still feeling good, we're still feeling alright. So, we still need to raise academics. We're still only rank 1 in that, and have I said still enough in this sequence? Aww. Well, whatever. That's actually very convenient, oddly enough. School starts tomorrow, which means we can go and talk to Mr. Edogawa. But hey, free courage, so that's a plus. Alright, so back to school again, and more gossip! Hooray! Kind of. I kinda doubt that. First, you're not a rabbit. That's interesting. Kind of an odd thing to talk about, but whatever. It's now the morning, which means lectures! Yay! Well, that's how they make money. Water without a lot of calcium or magnesium. That would be considered soft water. Yeah, so it's interesting just, even though it's all water, there's lots of different things in water. So yeah, it is actually interesting what sort of things you can learn that are actually helpful. Well, whatever. We gained a charm boost for today, and now it's after school. Alright, well, classes are ended. And that means, before we really do anything... I don't want to do it, but damn it, I need that courage. Alright, Mr. Gawa. I don't like you, and you don't care about me. Let's just get through this. He just says the exact same thing whenever you talk to him. So, really, it's not any different at all. If you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. But I need that courage boost. And nope, still rank 3. I am wondering if I can manage to get to rank 4 before the next full moon. I somewhat doubt it, but you know what? I can try. Now, today, we are going to be taking a slight detour. If you recall from earlier, those girls that were gossiping mentioned an elementary school kid hanging out at the Naganaki Shrine. So, one thing though that I should probably also do is the fact that we've never been to the Naganaki Shrine. There wasn't really much of a reason to go there before. So while we're there, time for another grand tour! Alright, the Naganaki Shrine is somewhat interesting, because there are a few things that you can actually do here. Well, there's an old man right here. Yeah, so any one of these things takes up time. However, over here, we have relationship fortunes. So if we go over here, we can pay 100 yen, and we can basically pray to one of our many friends for social links. Which, this does a few things. For one, as you can basically read from this, if you pray to this, then your relationship with that person will increase, which will mean you can gain points to their social link. However, if you manage to reverse a social link, it can be reversed in turn back to being regular if you go here. We haven't had any instance of reversing a social link. Reversing a social link basically means that you pissed off the person really badly, to a point where they won't even talk to you. This is one of the few methods that you can use in order to get rid of that reversal and basically fix the relationship. It is not something that you want to have to deal with. So yeah, try your best not to reverse a social link. There are a few, not every social link can be reversed. In fact, I think there's only 5 social links that can be reversed. But we'll get into a bit more on that when it becomes a bit more apparent. There's an obituary box here, which if you bring money here, it will increase your academics. If you're great, it will increase your academics even more. So that's really nice. And then there's the shrine over here. And there's some Inari sushi. So when you pray in front of this shrine, anything can happen. There's a number of things that can happen here. I've only seen this thing work twice. Once it can give you money. Another thing it can do is transform your items. I've seen this thing transform rancid gravy into somas. It's insane what that thing can do. Although, honestly, those are the only 2 things that I know that it can do. So I have no idea what else it can potentially do. However, we may go to relationship fortune. We're never going to use the obituary box, and there may be an instance where we actually go over there just to waste time. However, that won't be for an extremely long amount of time, if we do it at all. However, here's the little girl that those 2 girls were talking about earlier, so let's go ahead and talk to her. Well, hello, Maiko. I'm Minato. No, I'm good. I'm not lying. So, if you'll recall earlier, we bought that takoyaki. Although, admittedly, we've had it in our pocket for a couple days, so I'm not sure if it's really good to eat it. But she apparently liked it. And if you'll recall, we also bought that Mad Bull. Why are you doing squats, Minato? We also bought that Mad Bull at the dorm. Of course. Okay, so those were basically the flags that needed to be lifted if we wanted to start yet another social link. You had to get the odd takoyaki and you had to get the Mad Bull. Those were two things that you had to go and talk to Maiko with them. However, now we can go and talk to Maiko at any time and we can begin a new social link. But that isn't what we are doing for today. Today, it is a bit late, but you know what? We can do words. We can go through today, and then we can end things off when we get back to the dorm. So today, we're heading back to GeckoCon. Now, if you remember, Mitsuru asked us to join Student Council a while ago. However, before we can join Student Council, we have to go head on over to the faculty office. So that is what we are going to be doing today. We're going to join Student Council! Hooray! Yeah, about the Student Council. Oh, well that's easy enough. Okay. Thanks, Miss Toriumi. So yes, now we can actually head into the Student Council room and actually do stuff there, which is exactly what we are doing today. Now, where exactly is the Student Council room? Well, it's actually right across from our homeroom, actually. That's the PA room, but next to the PA room is the Student Council room. So this is where we need to go if we want to actually join in the Student Council, which is what we're going to be doing. And that's exactly what we have been doing, as I've mentioned for the past 2 minutes now. So let's enter. Nice to meet you, Hidetoshi. Of course. Nice to meet you, Chihiro. Are you okay, Hidetoshi? Well, at the very least, it's the beginning of a relationship. And you know what that means. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Emperor Arcana. We've established a new social link of the Emperor Arcana with Hidetoshi. Okay, sounds simple enough. Oh. Well, thank you, Mitsuru. It's my pleasure. So it moves on to the evening.
Oh, hey!
Hey, Yukari. Well, there's not really much of a reason for us to go to Tartarus right now. I mean, we're about as prepared as we really need to be. However, it is getting rather late, and I do believe we've accomplished quite a bit. We've managed to go through Golden Week, establish a new social link, and have made ways to... Well, in fact, we've made ways to introduce ourselves to even more social links, in more ways than just Maiko. So that will do it for this episode. So, next time on Let's Play Persona 3 FES. We still need to continue going through our day-to-day lives. However, that kid mentioned that there would be an ordeal very soon. In fact, it will basically come whenever the next full moon is. In fact, I think he mentioned specifically on the next full moon. So, whatever that ordeal is, whatever it is, it's coming soon. So until next time, everyone, take care.